I recently saw a clip on the Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got big hits. He looked to you. He learned how to wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
In my era too. I mean,
so to be compared,
let me that young kid. Let me.
He was young, and we loved that he loved Jim Jones. I want you to break this down.
Let's break this down. I admired Nas. Remember, Nas' first record, The Barbie, came out when I was in 11th grade. So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then, as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids started to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation. We talking about 94, 93 when I was in 11th grade. It's 2025. There's a big gap there, you know what I mean? And I want people to understand that. So when Shorty's telling people that, yeah, he's 20-some years old, that goes to show the part of the era that he's in, that I came into light and started going crazy that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them. Some of them know. But
you know what I mean?
A lot of them know.
Yes, but it's that
some music.
No,
some kids that.
No, I love that.
Some kids that love hip hop.
20, so I mean,
but your kid, he's your son.
He's your son.
No? He's your son.
No, but he knows.
My son
Nas.
Can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
let's keep it a buck. You heard? Let's keep it a buck because you'll bring it up. There must be some type of misconception or what's that word when it comes to Jim Jones and what Jim Jones have done in this game. A lot of these rappers,
we made them take the darkies off.
A lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them. But they forget I got a hell of a catalog. Me, Jim Jones, myself, gold records, platinum records, gold albums, platinum albums. No, me, Jim Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record, then check everybody else's track record, then go to the billboards and check all my entries, and check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and the niggas be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I gotta show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard that if you want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries and pull up my billboard entries.
Listen, we can't compare the two. What I'm trying to tell you
is I want to go there. I want to go down the line now because now we going down the line. He's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Listen,
let's go statistically.
It feels great.
No, but I want to go statistically because when people be like,
I feel the same way. We all feel the same way.
Forget about the numbers. My numbers back up.
Let me step up to the forefront. Us in the music of hip hop culture have a problem. Is a thing, and there's nothing. The world goes off numbers, but in hip hop, we don't pay enough homage to those before us the correct way, and sometimes it's even myself. So it gets no other genre of music. Fucking, I don't even know who to use.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, hip hop is like basketball.
Jelly Roll's never gonna say that about
hip hop is like basketball.
John
Morant get on the court with LeBron. He's going to kill LeBron. This is what this is about.
Any of that shit is
This is what this is about. There's nothing that there's never is me. Putting me up against anybody, I'm taking me every time. Every time.
Okay, but let me say something though, Jim.
In every category, I get busy.
You started off saying you grew up watching Nas. The only problem,
I didn't take that away from
the only situation I'm saying now to you, right? There is no situation.
I always tell people
kids should worship you.
When it started.
No, I'm not doing this. I did not know I was doing this.
Because you're really friends with him.
He gonna be mad at you.
No,
What's up, good people of the blogosphere? It's Coffee back at it, and ain't that something, man? Fat Joe over here getting sued by his ex-hype man with crazy allegations and like a RICO type vibe or whatever, but it's just allegations. It's just wild to see that going on while right now this clip being discussed like crazy, man. Jim Jones, and it all came off just someone, I'm not sure who it was, but you heard them an Instagram clip. You know what I mean? It's wild. A lot of rappers are always like, yo, y'all be out here just thinking you got a voice, you can pick up a phone and say something, but then you see Joe, Jada, and Jimmy sitting up there discussing what some random cat on Instagram said. So it's just wild, putting everything into perspective. But what's crazy to me, just off top, right, is, you know, Jim Jones, right? Hustlers, product of my environment. Keep that in mind as we transcend through this blog, right? Stay with me and stay up in the comments with your thoughts and all that, right? But what was it, just a few months back, 6 months back, I don't remember the time frame, but there was the same discussion going on about Jim Jones and 50 Cent's catalog. And you know, Fifth was telling Jimmy, you done bumped your head. I came in with Get Rich or Die Trying. You got balling. As you see a lot of people like, yo, look at Jadakiss, that look on his face, like, fuck out of here. Or Fat Joe telling him, hey, you came in the right way. You came in the right way, addressing it the right way. But you're getting a bit off track. You're getting a little cocky. Pause. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. But peep the stilo, peep the get down, peep what Jim Jones is doing here. He's gonna let everyone know at the end of the day they're falling for the okie doke, if you will. But generationally, people do view these artists differently, you know. And Jim Jones, I will say this, first off, to me there's just no comparison. Chart wise, I think Jimmy ain't fucking with Nas at all by any means, but MC wise, like, Jimmy bumped his head even trying to compare himself. But like Jada and Joe were telling him when he was saying, yo, I'm gonna take me every time, they're like, you're supposed to, you know what I mean? Hip hop is a braggadocious sport. You can't come up in here just acting like you ain't it, you know what I mean? But with all that being said, Nas is at a different place in his career. It's pretty interesting though that with the Grammy it took to the King's Disease series, and it was so crazy too, everything he had did so late. Those 3 projects in 1 year or something like that with Hit Boy, that was crazy. The Magic and the both of the King's Disease, and I think he ended up doing it. Did he do a third King's Disease? I don't know. Like, Nas is a venture capitalist and doing all kinds of stuff, but he still got it. He just ain't dropping music. Like, I think that's why he did the 3 projects in 1 year, the trilogy or whatever. But here he was back in 05 when he was still super active, regularly dropping music, and the whole question came up about Jim Jones and about Ether and such.
I think personally all you need to do is just either one more MC, and I don't think no MCs will sell to you after that anymore, period.
But it got, you know, honestly, I can't, like, if it was like Jim Jones, imagine putting a pen to paper to write about him. He was so nice. He was so nice about him. How did you do that? What's the first sentence? What the fuck do you write about him? I'm not anxious to hear the Jim Jones diss record. Like, I'm not. The niggas I used to have a nigga a little nervous was like B.I.G., Pac, right? Even Cannabis, like Eminem. The niggas you have like, if we go at it, dog, we have to go hard. You know what I'm saying? But these niggas like a Jim Jones, like, I mean, I respect you getting your money. What is that? You're like, exactly, right? I respect his hustle. I respect his hustle. That's about it.
So you heard him mention Cannabis, mention Eminem, mention some other MCs like Jim Jones. He said, I respect his hustle. That's it. You know what I mean? As an MC, I mean, right? He didn't say it, but he said it. Jimmy ain't even on his damn level. And then here's an older clip. That's 05, so that's 20 years ago. Here's 9 years ago, Jim Jones, a clip that's being re-pulled back up about his top 5.
You know, then you got Jay-Z who embodied the hustle. So at the time I first learned how to really hustle, his music was kind of the theme music to niggas hustling, to niggas selling crack and niggas doing different things in the street. He kind of had that in the bag for you. The rest is just like a great combined canvas of great art. I mean, those three right there, and Nas, I cannot front. When I came up, Nas was very influential in Nas, especially from the high school era when niggas was rocking Helly Hansen. Like, Nas was one of the illest niggas when it came to getting dressed. He was a fresh fly nigga. I cannot stunt. Like, he did a lot of shit for me when I came to getting dressed. When it came to the army suits and all that shit, and like, he had a lot of shit going on. That whole thing they had going on there. When he put AZ on in Queensbridge, he learned about Queensbridge, and he was 15, 16, he was in high school, and you know, to see somebody that ill and shit like that on the camera, and the way he posed, it was like everything about him niggas loved. It was kind of what Rakim did for you, and then you have the Lord Allah Rakim and shit like that. Like, so you know, it's like, it's hard to pick a top 5, but with those right there, I can say I'm content. That's a content body of music that.
So you heard him. Nas definitely made it to his top 5. Jimmy ain't in Nas's top 5. He didn't list his, but if he ain't even listing you as worth listening to this record, all he has to say positive really is that he respects your hustle. We know he ain't in his top 5, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to this. Like I say, Jimmy's letting everyone know y'all fell for the okie doke. And I will say this, I think I might have said it earlier, but Jim Jones' music has gotten way better as he's progressed. Like, I think, you know, let me know what you think. And it's interesting too, his journey through hip hop from being Cameron's hype man. You know, he was like, not Freaky Zeke. Obviously, Freaky Zeke was there too in them old clips, but Jimmy was the hype man. He was in the background. Let me know. You know what I mean? And the horse and carriage, all that. Jim Jones was there, but he elevated to being his own guy and branching off from Dipset. And we know Jewels did it at one point too, or even now we've seen Cam and Jimmy beefing more recently, and Jewels always rocks with Jimmy. But peep at this message that he put up, and this is what I'm saying when I was referencing the recent comparisons to 50 Cent. Remember what Nas said too, I respect his hustle. And peep this, you know, Jim Jones is letting people know the bottom line at the end of the day, and that's that revenue coming in, right? He says, if you're 40 and up arguing with me about Nas, y'all already lost. Y'all fell for the bait. My streams go up every time I got viral. I think he meant to say go viral. I'm teaching you older artists a lesson in marketing. Y'all so stuck in yesterday. Y'all mad at the way things run today. Tighten up, LOL. So like I said, remember, this was just going on with 50 Cent, and everyone's looking at Jimmy like, yo, you're crazy. You got some hits, but you can't rival what 50 Cent's doing. And Jimmy's letting it be known, I love this. Every time my name comes up, I'm going to milk it. You can look at me like I bumped my head, but I'm looking at it like, hey, there's a pattern. The streams go up. I'm about my bag. Hustler, product of my environment. Nas, maybe he wasn't looking at Jimmy like a opponent on his level as an MC, right? But that's the thing that always comes to this stuff with all these lists and comparisons and debate. Individuals got to make a living, get to the bag, and Jim Jones is going to milk this for what it's worth. And talk is talking, right? He put up the caption as well. P.S. I will wrap circles around any artist from my era who ever dare step in the booth. Bring some money with you, because this game ain't free. We outside in the field, take that as you may, but we working every day. My new handle is AB and not Antonio Brown, more like Algorithm Bender. LOL. And you see Flashy Bacon's like, what? At the end of the day, it's like, he just said, my streams go up. I'm on my hustler-ish. But then he's in here talk. He'll wrap circles around anyone. But then he's telling you he's an algorithm bender. So at the end of the day, it's just the okie doke. Jim Jones is going to do this every time because he hits in the algorithm. The streams go up. And that's a hustler move. You know what I mean? That's what he's saying. You 40 and up. Get with the program these days. Streams. And that's like with anyone doing a YouTube channel, doing whatever they're doing. Controversy's always going to sell more. Going viral is priceless. And Jimmy's just saying, you know what I mean? Like, hey, things yesteryear just ain't how they go today. So it's a hustle move for him. Which, it's not like we didn't know this, but I'm just saying he's flat out telling us that this is what it is. He's laying the playbook out for everyone. So there y'all have it, man. What say you about all this? Jim the Hustler, Nas the Prophet. I'm gone. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the comments.